Hello, everybody. Yeah, I think I'm live now. So, hello, everybody. How are you all doing? Welcome back to Man City Unplugged, your very own Man City fan channel. I hope all of you have had a great Tuesday and all of you're doing really well. So, one of the biggest things I was reflecting upon today was that did Rodri really do justice to his job in the midfield? Who was better? Was Rodri better in the midfield or was Fernandinho better? Did we really miss Fernandinho in the midfield? And was that the main reason why we were so far behind Liverpool this season? And also in the Champions League, also how much did we miss Fernandinho in the midfield? I don't know. Thinking about this, I think I was also having a discussion about this with one of my friend, and I think with Rodri the thing is he doesn't do much to stop counter attacks. He doesn't do much to stop opposition teams from playing through City's press. Yes, he's really tidy on the ball. He can't be pressed, but then again he's not that quick of the pitch as Fernandinho, I think, and he doesn't switch the play often, which is really important when you're playing against packed defenders like against Leon, for example. I didn't see Rodri switching the play even once. We with Rodri playing at the tip of that midfield, I think we are not shuffling the defenses enough in order to really make a difference. No, we are not moving the defenses enough, and defenses are very easily running onto our defenders with one-on-ones. And in a one-on-one, it's like I don't know, it's like always a 50-50, even though you might have the best defenders in the world. So that is a really crucial part which Fernandino performed very well for us. But this season we have been quite found out over there. So I was just thinking with Fernandino getting old, only Rodri there and maybe Gundogan. Come on, Gundogan is much more better at cam than at CDM, especially against big teams. So I think Thiago is a really interesting one, and I was more excited because his deal fell through. Apparently, the news that it has fell through because Liverpool do not want to basically pay the 30 million pound release clause. Fools. I mean, yes, fools. I mean, 30 million pounds is like you're getting Thiago in a steal, and I don't know why do not want to pay it, but then I thought that was a good blessing in disguise for us because 29, perfect, a player who has played under that Pep Guardiola system in Bayern Munich. He exactly knows, a player who has literally come from Barcelona. I think he's from La Masia, and then who has played under Pep Guardiola. If I'm not wrong, Pep Guardiola gave him his debut at Barcelona, so he would be perfect. I mean, Thiago, I think, plays more of the risk pass than when compared to Rodrigo. He takes more risks on the ball. He really makes the play roll forward. He really gambles more often, and the he excites more often. I should say he exudes that passion of City, which Rodri didn't do on many occasions this time. So I think that was one of the major things that was missing in City's gameplay, especially from building up from the back. I thought it was slow, it was lethargic, not because of the defenders, but it was more lethargic at Rodri. He was more often than not playing the simple pass backwards and sidewards than going forward. Yeah, I know City has a lot of attacking talent forward, but then you need the CDM also to be more creative, because that is how you really push defenses to the brink. It is not enough to just have all of your number 10s and number 9s playing really well. And in that way, I think Thiago would be a massive upgrade on Rodri. I think Rodri has a good passing range, but he doesn't. I don't know, but he doesn't play those passes often. Maybe it's the first year and he's adapting. I don't know, because against Atletico Madrid also. I mean, while he was playing at Atletico Madrid, he he would not take more risks, but that was understandable because Simeone team and you have to defend more often. But even here, even when the opposition is pinned back, he is more often than not opted for the easy pass, and that's a bit concerning. This is in no way a rant against Rodri. I mean, the man is wonderful. Whatever he knows, he does it really well. He plays, he keeps it simple, tidy. He never loses possession. Great abilities. He has great tackle. He reads the game well positionally. But then I think maybe I was thinking you maybe need to go to that next step, and Thiago might be the one who would propel us because 29 in that position, you would give 2 3 years at least. And Rodri would be a variation of Thiago, if you could say. Rodri would be someone who would offer a bit of a bit of a variance when compared to Thiago, which I think would be essential in mixing it up. And also Thiago can, I think what Thiago does better than Rodri is he splits the lines open well. He can make those defense splitting passes like a De Bruyne does, for example. So it would be a double threat for us, and I mean triple threat with Phil Foden, De Bruyne, or Phil Foden or Bernardo Silva, De Bruyne, and Thiago. It would be, I think it would be much more attacking when you compare it to Rodri. But it's the first season. But if you ask me personally, I would think I would really want Rodri at the club. I would want City to go for Rodri. 30 million pounds. Man has 1 year left on the contract. It's a buyer's market more than a seller's market. I think this is the time we should go to take that next level, because against Leon, what I saw was we didn't have anyone playing that defense splitting pass from midfield. Yes, I know we played with almost three DMs, but Thiago is a DM and he gives us that defense splitting passes. So we missed a player exactly like Thiago, and there aren't many around. So it's and he's an excellent reader of the game as well, and excellent positional player, as you might expect a player who has grown up under the influences of Guardiola and his methodology. He reversed Guardiola so much. So yeah, yes, I haven't seen the defense splitting passes as much, and I think Thiago is the perfect one for that, because there have been links today. Why I've thought of this is there have been links today that City is. I mean, there have been links from various respected outlets that City is going to trigger the release clause of Douglas Luiz, which is around 25 million pounds. Yes, Douglas Luiz, I think 24, 25. He's a really good player. But again, maybe Douglas Luiz runs around a bit more, has got a bit more engine than Rodri. But but then if I look at it, if you're anyway paying 25 million pounds for Douglas Luiz, why not pay it for Thiago? I mean, why not pay just 5 more million pounds for Thiago and bring him in, and he'll be 3 4 years. He'll be there for the club, and then someone like a Tommy Doyle would come in and take over the mantle. So Thiago in any way makes real sense for me, because why do we need engine? We are not a Wolves, for example, or we are not a team, or we are not another team that runs around a lot, right? We are a team that more often than not sets up our camp in the opposition half, and more often than not we are always attacking even against big teams. So we need a player with more creativity than with a more engine. So I would personally not go for Douglas Luiz and spend 25 million pounds. Instead, if you ask me the opinion, I would go for Thiago, because if you go for Douglas Luiz, what different thing are you bringing in? You're bringing in another Rodri, but why? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't rectify any of our failures this season. And one of our failures this season was lack of the creativity from defensive midfield. Us being too conservative in defensive midfield. Us being too risk averse in defensive midfield. It sent out a message that we are not that City with a bit more sharp attacking edge, with a City that is ruthless. No, we appeared conservative to opposition teams, which was very concerning if you ask me, because when you strike at a defense which is packed, make sure that it just falls away. And another thing I thought was we were giving defenses far too time. Defenses that defend in a very low block, we're giving them far too opportunities and time to resettle back. And one of the main reasons for this is our defenders and mainly our CDM taking real time on the ball, being not having that personality and courage to pass the ball forward. Yes, Rodri might improve next season, and I just want him to prove me wrong. But then I think he has other good all round aspects. But then it is our responsibility to even voice the criticisms as well. It is really important. It is really important that City fan community does not become an yes man community where we just see all all the best things, all the magnificent things about our players. No, we need to identify the criticisms and where are they going wrong, and we need to tell it to them. It might be when De Bruyne as well. If it is there, we'll point it out. Doesn't matter. We love a player, but that's why we love the team. That's why we are telling this. Actually, we want to criticize them and make sure that they improve even more. That's the main objective of criticizing players. And another interesting thing is, there have been reports coming, although I don't believe it to be as true. It's not from any of the genuine outlets, but reports have been coming from outlets like Talk Sport and maybe even the Sun, I think, that City have bid 80 million pounds for Koulibaly. Yes, yes, it is 80 million pounds, not 80 million euros. City have bid 80 million pounds for Koulibaly, and if that is the case, then Napoli hand is forced. They need to take the money. Like I was saying before, Napoli needs money right now, although they're acting just like prats, disguising that they don't need to sell and all the stupid stuff. That's not the case. Just take out your mask, Napoli, and the chairman of Napoli, whoever it is, I don't know his name. So just take out the masks and don't pretend that you don't need to sell. Yes, you need to sell, and that is obviously clear. That is as clear as a daylight. That is as clear as a sun in a perfect afternoon. That you need to sell. You've spent so much on Victor Osimhen, so Napoli's hand is forced if that is the case. So I think we can expect Koulibaly to join us in a week or two. But then that's not my concern. I'm very sure that the club will sign another centre back. Might be Koulibaly, might be Douglas, not Douglas Luiz. I'm sorry, might be Diego Carlos, or might be another player. Who knows? We might even go for Ruben Diaz. But City will sign a centre back for sure, and it's Koulibaly who is really set to be at the forefront of the race. But my concern is not that. My concern is another striking option, because Sergio Aguero uh, has not looked the fittest in the past a few seasons. I would say in the past 1 2 seasons, he has been prone to injuries, and then he's not looked the sharpest as well. He's looked sharpest in patches. Don't mark me wrong. He's one of the best players around. But then he has not looked the sharpest, and I think it's time with him leaving in an year. I would not say leaving in an year, but with his contract up in the air in an year. I think at the age of 33 next year, might be, even if he extends, it will be for an year at the most after that, and then he'll be looking to leave. So I think this is the time we look at a replacement for Sergio Aguero. Not next year, because next year again the prices will go up for sure, because now the market is down. The market will not remain down forever. It will go up. So next season, Lautaro Martinez will suddenly be 100 or 120 million euros. He's 100 million euros, I know this time. And Inter is telling that, but if City really bid 70 million euros, I think we should get the man. And I think it's a great time. I think he has played wonderfully well in the Europa League semi-final, and overall he's. I know when I see Lautaro Martinez play, it's like I see shades of a young Aguero. I see shades of an Aguero when he has come to City at 22. I see the way in which he moves around the box, the way in which Lautaro prowls in the box, the way in which he just goes ahead of the defenders, or he just skips in behind defenders, the way in which he dribbles and all. I see major shades of Sergio Aguero over there. I think I have no doubt in my mind that Lautaro Martinez is a perfect replacement for Sergio Aguero. Is Gabriel Jesus is really good, but he's not at the level of Sergio Aguero. And still, I mean, it's not comparing. That's really unfair. Gabriel Jesus, it's unfair to even compare Jesus and Aguero because Jesus is a completely different player. The things he brings into the matches is something else. The work rate, the energy with which he runs around, the the real sharpness he shows outside of the box. Maybe his finishing needs a bit of working on, but again, finishing is more instinctive. You can't really coach it exactly. It's something you learn with instinct. Which corner should I hit? Should I go near post, far post? Should I really take on the shot from a longer range? That's all again instinctive. You learn it as you play, as you gain experience. But so Jesus is a completely different striker. So Lautaro, I think I would say he has that another quality which Aguero didn't have at 22, or which Aguero didn't have even until Pep arrived. The work rate which Lautaro Martinez gives is again exceptional, especially especially the way he tracks, the way he chases down the defenders, the way he really presses hard. He's perfectly suited for this City's style of play. Even if Pep goes in 2 years, 3 years, and a new coach comes in, who I personally think should be a Eric Ten Hag or Pochettino, or someone who has that ethos of playing that attacking position based football in him. He'll really appreciate Lautaro as well. So I think Lautaro is perfectly suited. You'll not get a much better striker than him. Might be people might think Joao Felix is better than Lautaro Martinez in some aspects, maybe the dribbling aspect and stuff. And but I'm not sure about the work rate which Joao Felix gives. And also Joao Felix is now in that Atletico team, so it's really unfair to judge him based on the performances there in a team that really plays a completely different dynamic, a team that is more focused on counter attacks. So I think if I would be looking at two strikers to replace Aguero at City, I would be either looking at Lautaro Martinez or Joao Felix. And right now I'm a bit inclined towards Lautaro Martinez because of, yeah, exactly, because I see shades of Aguero in him. And and I think he can really adapt, and he has shown that he can adapt fast in the Serie A. So I think he can. I mean, coming from foreign country, adapting fast, it's something exceptional what he has shown, and I think he can do the same in the Premier League. And another interesting thing, if we go into today's stories, is Julian Nagelsmann has come out and really defended Pep Guardiola and his tactics. Yes, and and Nagelsmann is someone uh, who really puts that ethos, that message conveyed by Pep Guardiola in the way his teams play. Could see the style of Pep Guardiola and his positional based football, and the way Nagelsmann's team set up and play, although in a different formation. So Nagelsmann has come up and said that in big matches, it's not as easy as people say, that you just put in a 4-3-3, the best attacking team, and you yeah, and you just basically tell the team to do the business. No, doesn't happen that way. And he said a very interesting point, I would say. He said every coach in the Champions League has to change something, especially in big knockout games. That is because in the Champions League, especially in the knockout games, every coach has to find his own way. Every coach has to find his own path. And he said that if suppose Pep Guardiola had won that game, he would be a tactical genius playing three center backs. We would say that against two fast strikers, Pep really protected City's center backs and back four, and really gave that platform from which City won the game. It would just have been prizes and nothing. Just because Pep lost, we were all on top of him saying, why didn't he just play 4-3-3? If he just played 4-3-3 and lost, all of us would say that why didn't Pep use his tactical knows and things? Why is he a genius? Is he a good coach? we would come into that argument that good coaches always find ways through big games. Leon had two strikers. Pep knew our Achilles heel was centre back. Why didn't he change it? I mean, in the world generally, whatever you do, people will have an opinion. If it works out, they'll have an opinion. If it doesn't, they'll have an opinion. There are people who are always there to comment. Not telling sharing your opinions or commenting is wrong, but then just think why that person has done it like that. What had driven Pep Guardiola to do it that way, to go in with three center backs? Because Pep Guardiola, it's not the first time. Pep Guardiola has been doing this since 10 years, 11 years. Yes, he's not won the Champions League, but then he's doing it in his own way. He's doing it by carving out his own path, and I think that requires courage. That requires a big mentality, big persona, great character and personality, which Pep Guardiola really has. So again, looking back at that and reflecting it, that yes, we lost, but again, like I said in the previous videos, it was more due to our inherent weakness than due to Pep's tactics. Because Pep really could have played that 4-3-3, and it would have been very easy for us fans to blame the centre backs if it went wrong. He could have even put a Otamendi, and people would think experienced player or Fernandinho, and there would be no question. And the fast strikers of Leon would have exploited us. And the argument after that would have been, this big headline of the day after that would have been, just sack. I mean, we need to go for better defenders, and that's all. Pep Guardiola should be back with an arm chest. But I'm sorry, Pep Guardiola should be back with a should be back with a treasure chest, 200, 300 million. So I think it would have been easy, but Pep took it upon himself, and that's how it pans out. So reflecting back upon it, I think there's no blame on Pep. We lost because inherently we were not good enough, and that's the only thing. Yes, we need to accept it. Acceptance is the first step towards developing a champion's mentality. So yes, we accept it. We accept the defeat. We're proud of the way we tried. Whatever went wrong, it went wrong. That's fine. But we are proud of what we did, and even if it's victory or defeat, we'll always be proud of how we play, and we'll never lose our character in the way we play. That's the only thing I would like to say. That yeah, the blame is entirely not on Pep. And actually, looking at today's transfer stories, interesting ones, I would say Koulibaly and the thing with Luis, and also talking about Thiago. But I honestly do feel that if Thiago comes to City, I think we can really go on to that next level. Champions League experience, played in that Barcelona and now great Bayern teams. It would just be fantastic. And if he goes to Liverpool, I think again it would just bolster them really well. It would just improve them tremendously, because no other midfielder there has that passing range. So I just hope that he comes to City, or he stays at Bayern or goes to another league. If he comes to Premier League, I just hope that he comes to City and City go for him. And hope you all guys are really enjoying the content, and I'll again come back in front of you tomorrow. And if you're really enjoying the content, do subscribe to the channel. It really means a lot to me. And just to comment out below, just write in the comments and let me know what do you think about the Thiago alternative which I've been talking about. Do you think that he should really come? Should City go for him, or what should City do? Should City just trigger the release clause of Douglas Luiz? Just let me know in the comments below. And again, if you're liking the content, do subscribe to the channel. And all of you have a nice evening, and take care and bye.